Pisces. You have someone thinking about you, Pisces. We do have beauty, charming, graceful, kind-hearted, fantasy, daydreaming, imagining, fantasized, and then memories. Okay, somebody has memories with you, Pisces. They're definitely thinking about you, fantasizing about you. We do have commitment, marriage, promises, fidelity. So let's see what comes through. We do have 10 of Cups here. It's almost like Pisces, someone is reminiscing on when you were their lover, okay, or how good of a lover that you are. So let's see what we have here for Pisces. For Pisces today, are these cards in order? Yes, they are. What do we have for Pisces on beauty, fantasize, memories? For Pisces, what is this fantasy? Why do we have beauty, fantasize, memories? Oh, we have the World card here. For Pisces, why do we have beauty, fantasize, memories, and commitment? Why the Ace of Wands and the World card? Because it's just a fantasy over here, okay? And that's what I see. Ace of Wands, the World card, Death card over here. Why the Ace of Wands for beauty, fantasy, memories, and commitment? I'm also remembering a quote that a high priestess once told me. Memories are karmic. Why the World card for beauty, fantasy, memories, and commitment? And then why the Death card for beauty, fantasy, memories, and commitment? Does it have to do with travel? Why the Death card and the Eight of Wands for beauty, fantasy, memories, and commitment? Pisces, something has ended here with a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Why Queen of Pentacles, Death card, and the Eight of Wands here? And who is this Queen of Pentacles to Pisces? You don't quite see this. Moon card. Where's Pisces energy in this reading? For Pisces, for beauty, fantasy, memories, and commitment, what is this? Where is Pisces energy in this reading? It's interesting. You're in a Queen of Wands energy. Aries, Leo, Sag. You're in your power. You're moving forward. You are in a fantasy here. Fantasy. Third eye opening, Pisces. Do any of you have a Venus in Pisces? Go check out where your Venus is. For Pisces, why do we have the Knight of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands for beauty, fantasy, memories, and commitment? Why the Magician card and the World card for beauty, fantasies, memory, and Eight of Cups was caught in my hand, okay? So something about walking away. For Pisces, why do we have beauty, fantasy, memories, commitment for the Magician and the World card? It's interesting in this reading. We have Judgment. You are... And what's this commitment card for Pisces? You're moving forward. Why Six of Swords with commitment for Pisces? Kind of want to see. 10 of Wands. Why Six of Swords for commitment? No, you're not committing. That's what's going on here. Six of Swords, the Fool card in reverse. Pisces, people can think things about you. Yeah. The Moon card. Didn't we get the Moon card for how they feel about you? This person was in fantasy about you, Pisces. And isn't that cool? Right? Pisces, and what I mean by that, like, it's, you know, people talk about like they're fantasizing about you and things and that. Well, but what about when they fantasize about you to the point that they don't see you? It's just a fantasy. That's what we see here, Pisces. There's somebody here that truly does not see you, Pisces. They were trying to build with you. Now, I see you alone at the beginning here. There could have been somebody on the outskirts. We have Page of Cups, like a crush. It says crush on here, like naivety, a crush. There's somebody, Pisces, it's interesting. You were alone. Somebody came in. And then there's all of this stuff. Why the Death card, Queen of Pentacles, Eight of Wands, and the Eight of Swords here for Pisces? 10 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. You are going to actually be walking away from this person. 3 of Swords with the 3 of Wands here. For some of you, this actually is the kind of thing of you get on a plane, you like leave the country, you leave your estate, you leave your hometown. I see you getting up and leaving, going somewhere away from this person. There is a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn here. that it seems like they wanted a collaboration with you. They wanted a relationship with you. For some of you, most of you I see do like marriage, promises, fidelity, partnership of some kind, commitment of some kind, even if it's not romantic. They're trying to manifest with you. It quickly did not work. We have the Nine of Wands, the King of Pentacles here. Someone had a fantasy about you, Pisces. Now, why the Three of Wands and the Three of Swords here? Why the Three of Wands and the Three of Swords? Why Six of Coins and the Three of Cups? Yeah, being mindful. Pisces, what I do see here is this is up to you to follow your High Priestess card, which is the Pisces card, and to follow your intuition. There is someone here, a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You guys wouldn't be able to manifest with one another. I see you kind of on your own at the beginning of this reading, also at the end of this reading. It's like you're alone, you're in your power, someone shows up. But here's the thing, they saw a fantasy version of you. Or with the memories, it could be like old memories kind of thing. Now, why do we have the card Memories? It's interesting, Pisces. Is this someone from your past? Is this someone that maybe even knows your past, Pisces? Is what I'm seeing here. It's interesting. The projected version, the fantasy version that someone expected of you is not what they got. And it seems like it's a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. It doesn't have to be. And Seven of Wands here, I actually see a protection over you and standing your ground. And what I see here is like the fantasy. It was just so, again, like there's readings of like they fantasize about you and this and that. Here's this shadow side of fantasy where it just like becomes almost like dangerous, it's not cool, almost dangerous. Where 10 of Wands with the 7 of Wands here. With the 10 of Wands, the fantasy that they projected upon you, like it just was not you or true. And so you both come together in partnership, in collaboration, or in a romantic, connection, and it becomes quickly a burden. But it's also the kind of thing where it's not necessarily you, Pisces. There's someone here that created false expectations for themselves. And there's someone that's like almost kind of upset or sad that you are not what their fantasy expected you to be. Why 10 of Wands and the 7 of Wands here? Yeah, this is in a partnership of some kind. Why 10 of Wands, 7 of Wands, and the 2 of Cups? Why 2 of Cups with the Empress card? Yeah, it's interesting. Interesting here. And why the Strength card with the Lovers card and the Empress? It's very interesting in this reading. You're showing up as very successful. Hierophant card here. You are successful. You got things going for you before this person came into your life. You're in your power, got things going for you. I see somebody that comes into your life. This is someone that let's see, confirmation that this card was not in reverse when we started this reading. But it's the 10 of Cups, marriage. 10 of Cups here. What I'm seeing is like, it's not necessarily you, Pisces, though. This person was very wrong in their intuition. But it's not like you did anything, Pisces. You didn't do anything. You are who you are. And there is someone that expected something else, expected something different. And they didn't get that. And it ended. But what's this about feeling trapped? Why this 8 of Swords here? Yeah, where it's interesting. It's like somebody else. Interesting. Secrets, mysteries, concealing. Are any of you, it's interesting. I did say that for some of you, this may, whether it pisses you off enough, or it's just like whatever. You may go on vacation, go on a getaway or something here. It's interesting though, and this is where the boundaries come in here. This is where clarity comes in. This is where communication comes into the reading. When somebody has like a very false and projected expectation of you, it's also not your job to live up to that. And you don't have to apologize necessarily for someone who got like a really wrong projection or fantasy about you in some way, shape, or form. We have secrets, mysteries, concealing, truth, intentions, honesty. Somebody here may have felt like you were hiding things. It's interesting. Now, why do we have secrets and truth? Yeah, this is where, this is where then it becomes, Pisces, you're being protected. Somebody wants revenge. No. And that is emotional intelligence. It is emotional regulation. It is accountability above all. 1111 as I say that. That's just life. It really is just life, right? Where a job, a school, a teacher, a friend, a lover, an apartment, and anything. You can expect certain things and expect the unexpected. You know, it's interesting here that there's somebody who wants to get revenge because they feel as if they were completely wrong about you. But what they're actually learning is, why are you fantasizing? So this person's kind of getting in trouble over fantasizing about you. But not like in the way like that you think about it, right? Somebody's getting in trouble because, and not in trouble, right? But, karma, whatever. You cannot attack someone of like, well, I expected differently. You know, it just is the way that it is. If you have a long-term relationship for 10 years and you've never met, third eye opening the second you meet one another, no matter how much you talked, nothing beats the physical, you know, and I think it's also like just common sense of like, you see someone in a picture, they may not look exactly the same. You see that, you know, it's just also common sense. You know, it's like what's coming through in this reading. Why do we have revenge? Why do we have revenge here? Why the Star card and the Two of Wands for this card of revenge? Two of Wands, where there's choices here. And why the Six of Pentacles for this revenge card? You know what I see here? Now, for some of you, this could be someone that realized that, oh, wow, this person struggles. Pisces struggles too sometimes. You know, somebody created like a Disney idea of you in a relationship, in a partnership, in a something here. Some sort of connection. Why Four of Coins with the Six of Wands? You're actually getting through it. Mr. Donnie, and you all know who we're talking about, the Donnie, the orange Donnie. That Donnie has been through how many bankruptcies? I don't know, and all this and that. What I see, it's interesting. What I actually see is like you going through, maybe it's like you're alone, you're doing well, somebody comes into your life, but here, like they just notice the shadows. They realize that things aren't perfect. And then they're like, oh my gosh, oh no. You know, like they had a fantasy. You are not perfect, but it's also not, how do I word this? This person created some sort of fantasy about you. And upon meeting you, upon knowing you, upon being in a relationship with you, they realized of like, oh, it's not as perfect as I thought it was. That's what I'm seeing in this reading. Now, let's get this here. Now, what is... Where's Pisces energy for this revenge card? Where's Pisces energy with this revenge card? Oh, no, you're protected. You are protected here, okay? Seven of Cups, I make choices with clarity. The King of Swords, my decisions are guided by justice and by truth. You are in the truth over here. Why Seven of Cups and the King of Swords? Why Seven of Cups and the King of Swords? I lead with emotional balance and wisdom. Why Seven of Cups, King of Swords, and the King of Cups here? Strength card. Yeah, you know, and so, yeah, Knight of Wands, Five of Cups. Like, yeah, this Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn is just bad. Like, that's what this reading is truly showing. This person's disappointed, and so they are projecting all of their emotions and feelings onto you, when in reality, it's just accountability. You are someone who is honest, and you strive to be. You know, what I'm seeing here is it's just, you're not exactly maybe what someone expected here. But you make choices with clarity, and you do. But here's the thing too, you cannot control how other people think, Pisces. It's also this person of like, well, I did not tell you to like create that fantasy in your head. I never told you that I was perfect, kind of thing, you know? That's what's showing here. For Pisces, how does this Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, how does this Queen or King of Pentacles feel about Pisces? Why the Two of Pentacles for how this Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn feels about Pisces? And how does Pisces feel about this Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn? You are leaving them behind and you feel like it's like, no. Like, no. You're seeing them as pages here. Page of Pentacles, Page of Cups. This person is actually just upset. They are not happy that you did not exactly fit or match their expectations. This person kind of expected you to drive like 3 Rolls Royces, you know. They expected you to have like all the stuff. It's interesting here where like there's just someone who is a little bit disappointed here in you. You're moving forward though. For Pisces, how does Pisces feel about this person? Why Page of Cups? Ah, I see. It's maturity. Maturity. Why do people want to look rich and be broke? That's what this is, maturity. There's somebody here that placed a fantasy upon you. You are the King of Pentacles, actually. It's funny, this person is projecting upon you, but you are the King or Queen of Pentacles. This is interesting. It's interesting because you're showing up as responsible and mature. Sorry, I didn't have the Gucci bag that you thought I was going to show up with, but I will tell you that there's no debt and that all my bills are paid. And I'm so sorry to tell you that actually I invested for 10 years in advance and I did it the smart way. You know, this is someone though who they have some maturing to do. You see this person as a page. Page of Cups, the Six of Swords. You're leaving them behind. But there's someone that's just like, this is not what I expected, this and that. You were not, you know, for some of you, you need to hear the words, you were not embodying wealth in the way that they thought. You are someone that has secret and hidden wealth, and they expected, you know, for some of you, it's interesting here where, it's interesting, this reading. It's actually kind of showing like this is a King or Queen of Pentacles, but it's interesting here. They thought that you had more than you had, and they're like not happy. They're like, oh, that person, they're fake, they're a liar. You have more than this person. You have real, you know, say money, right? And by that, I mean, you are someone who, you're not here to look rich, you're here to be rich. You're not actually here to sell a fantasy. But here's the thing. In order to live in reality, let's make sure everything in the seen and unseen is done before you go start doing all those things. Before you look rich, Let's have the foundation. You know, it's interesting that that's actually what's coming through in this reading here. There is someone that is so upset that you're not who they thought that you were, but you actually are. That's what's very interesting in this reading. You're wearing your wealth in a different way. Like, you're the type of person that nobody knows how much money you actually make. You're the type of person that it doesn't matter if you're making 50K, 100K, 300K, you are driving that 2010 Toyota that goes for 400,000 miles. You are someone that, like, you know, you got the trust funds, you got this, you got that. All that's what I'm seeing in this reading. It's interesting because you are actually protected. You're like, oh, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm out of here. Because you know what true wealth is. True wealth is not, you know, let me prove online. Let me prove to my, you know, this or that. Let me, you know, and you could also have all the things. To be quite honest with you, Pisces, I'm seeing you as someone that has hidden secret wealth. You're the type of person that nobody's going to know how much you do actually make here. Because you care about what matters, which is the foundation. So it's interesting because, like, they're throwing this fit, and I will say you're protected. You know, you have Knight of Cups, something or someone is on the way. What's Pisces' advice for this King or Queen of Pentacles? What's Pisces' advice? You're holding the truth here. Seven of Swords, the Ace of Swords. You are not being sneaky, even though this person is accusing you of being sneaky. You know, this is the type of person that will, like, tell their friends, the Pisces is not who I thought that they were. But it's interesting actually here because you actually really are that person. You really are, but you're the real thing kind of thing is what I'm seeing here. You know, like, you are the real thing, but it's like, you know, how do I word this? For some of you, it does feel like they had something to say about your wealth or your money in some way, shape, or form. You're the real thing that actually there's not 30K debt hiding. Actually, there's not this. Actually, there's not a, you know, that's what I'm seeing here. It's a very interesting reading. Now, why the Seven of Swords and the Ace of Swords for advice for this King or Queen of Pentacles? Yeah, this is someone that, you know, it's interesting. We have Eight of Swords, Queen of Pentacles. This is someone that actually has the third eye block. Like, they are Queen of confirmation. This Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn is kind of stuck of where they are. Like, they can't see forward past that. Why Seven of Swords, Ace of Swords, and the Eight of Swords here? It's so interesting here. You have someone that is not in this energy of, like, say, King or Queen of Pentacles, and there's almost like someone that wants to say of, like, oh no, Pisces fixed their lifestyle and they do this and they do that. No, Pisces doesn't. Pisces set up their lifestyle for the rest of Pisces' life. While some people, like, again, the Page of Cups, this is someone who is just looking around, you know, of like, oh, let me look at what you've got to see what you've got. That's not who Pisces is. Pisces is going to set up their wealth, their prosperity, their career, their whatever for 5 to 30 years forward. Which means, you know, and that's interesting here of what I'm seeing. Now, why do we have the Page of Cups here? This, like, that person, you walked away from them. It feels like this was a karmic cycle of betrayal. Why Page of Cups with the Ten of Swords for this revenge card? High Priestess, betrayal. Somebody who their third eye is blocked and they're trying to call you out. The third eye is blocked, ma'am, sir, they. Like, the third eye is blocked. And they're trying to say that person is, you know, they're not real, they're not true, they're lying, they're this, they're that. No, Pisces actually isn't. You're moving forward. And it feels like this taught you something, though, of like, you know, I can see clearly now. The Page of Cups is gone. Like, that's what I'm seeing here. And why King of Pentacles? Why the King of Pentacles here? You are releasing this, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This person really did you wrong. Resilience here. But it's like, for example, maybe someone that doesn't really know much about wealth, money, finances, and then comes in and like, say you really are the millionaire, you know, like you really do have it going on, this and that, you know, you don't show it, but your savings are good, your bills are paid, your debts are paid, trust funds, houses, whatever, right? You're playing smart. And this person attacked you from a place that was completely unnecessary. And that's what we have for this reading here. I do see that you're just learning your lesson with this. Now, what's coming in for Pisces? Baby, this is the sun card, baby. Sunflower over here. Joy and success and happiness and some money, wealth and prosperity, Pisces, because you are that rich bitch, okay? In spirit and in matter, okay? In spirit and matter, you are that rich. They, them, okay? Ace of Pentacles here. This person was so wrong, okay? It's like this person, like, oh my gosh, that Pisces is not who I thought that they were. What should I do about this? I need to tell someone about this. No, Pisces is exactly who they say that they are. Pisces does have the Ace of Pentacles. Pisces is very smart with where they invest and what they spend on and moving forward. You know, for example, like you own a business. No, I am not going to spend the $1,000 I just got, because part of that is deduction. Part of that is, is maybe tools and supplies, like a business owner sees $1,000 and they don't see $1,000 in their mind. They're already thinking of deductions and this and that and the light bill that needs to be paid, right, for the store, etc. You learned a big lesson by dealing with a page, and you actually have money and prosperity coming in. All right, now, what do we have for Pisces over here? What is advice for Pisces on? This person was fantasizing about them. Does this person want a second chance with you? We have karma. Second chance, working out, begging, negotiating. Is there someone that's going to beg or negotiate? Why do we have second chance and working out? Ooh, is this going to work out? You have a soulmate here. I mean, after all this, like, especially when they try to, like, get the revenge, the retaliation, it's like, no re-entry, baby. No re-entry after that. But I'm actually seeing here, you have soulmates, you have terms, you have second chance. Oh my gosh, apology, conflict, ecstasy, good times. Interesting. Use your intuition, Pisces. This person kind of they projected upon you badly here. And I want to be honest that they may have not done it, but they kind of wanted revenge, or they already did it. There's somebody who they're your soulmate, and this person wants a second chance with you. They feel like you have good times, you got good energy, because you do, Pisces. We have ecstasy, chasing thrills, excitement, and good times, conflict. It's interesting because we do have memories looking back. There might be someone who's realizing of like, actually, the good times with Pisces were way better than whatever happened, So it's up to you, Pisces, all right? That's what I have for you. I do hope that it resonates in a positive way. I'm sending you all so much love and so many blessings to your day.